welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to VCS week number 2. We're currently experiencing some technical difficulties with our main host not being available. I think he's finding his glasses, but with me, I'm Spoots, are our usual cast of analysts on Saturday. We have Mr. Vinny and Mr. Yowei. Gentlemen, how are we doing? How are we feeling about today's games?
It's crazy outside, but our game should be good, so that shouldn't matter too much. Yesterday there came like half a meter of snow, and I haven't seen so much snow in ages. I'm just stumped looking out of my window.
Listen, I'm just saying Clockwork's hibernating in there, ready to come on the desk tomorrow, but for now we have the two of you. So let's just get cracking because we are a little bit behind schedule here. So first thing we want to talk about a little bit is our, of course, match of the week, which is going to be our second game of the day between GAM and SBTC. So I'll start with you, Vinny. Give us a little bit of your thoughts about this matchup.
This matchup is going to be fantastic top to bottom. All the players and all the positions are either long-standing excellent players or have completely stepped up. That's mostly in the case of style, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. But they've stepped up. They're showing their best performance. In GAM's case, definitely. SBTC, this is going to be our first time seeing them with their full roster after Zeros wasn't able to play in week 1. So I'm expecting to see a clash of titans. I'm looking to see who is able to fill that power vacuum that the dismantling of the Flash roster has left behind.
Absolutely, and Zeros returning is something that I know you have a bit to talk about later on. We have got a little bit of something in store for the audience in the form of a returning segment, but let's leave Zeros out of the window just for now. Yowei, tell me a little bit about the rest of the team. How do you think this SBTC roster is going to perform as a whole now?
It's so hard to call. It's really hard to predict how good this team is going to be. Last week, of course, we only saw them without their star top laner, and we expect them to play quite a lot towards top lane. So I think they're going to change quite a bit. Celebrity and Slay strike me as more of the stable, consistent bot lane that's just going to not lose and enable your 2-star solo laners, Zeros and Dia, to carry. I think the linchpin of this whole team, and maybe the deciding factor, if they can actually challenge GAM for the title or even other teams for top positions, will be Yijin. Returning after a whole split of, he didn't want to take the split off, but he was forced to take the split off. After winning Spring, he comes back into Spring. His first series didn't look stellar. I think he has a lot to improve, and today is a big test against Levi. This was always our number 1 jungle matchup. I'm so happy it's back, because Spring last year, we had so many discussions in the Discord, in the MVP poll, over and over again. Levi against Yijin, Yijin against Levi. Who's better? Is Yijin the better jungler because he plays more for his team, because he has a few more meta picks? Is Levi the better jungler because he's the harder carry? He can do stuff Yijin could never dream of. So this is the jungle matchup. Always so important between these teams.
Yeah, for sure. And this sort of leads us towards, the crux of this matchup, right? We are looking at, a power vacuum after the previous champions roster has split in the form of Flash. Flash obviously not doing the best right now. So we are looking towards, the top of at least our power predictions, the GAM and SBTC. We're believing that, these two teams are going to be the ones fighting at the top of the table. So maybe guide me through a little bit of, who do you think is going to come out on top today? Because I think, at the end of the day, we are going to have one way or another some sort of definitive answer as to where the power standings lie. Vinny, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I think we're very much likely to be seeing a GAM victory because, as Yowei alluded to before, Yijin wasn't really showing up in that first match, and Levi has looked absolutely stellar in the 2 matches, in the 2 series they've played. Then we look at the matchup I'm most looking forward to, the mid lane. The old GAM mid laner versus the new GAM mid laner. Dia versus Cardi. Flash's young blood superstar Cardi versus Dia 1 was a big talking point last year. It's still a big talking point this year. But Dia's swapped his colors. He's no longer GAM. Cardi is. And they're completely different players. Dia is basically the Levi to Cardi's Yijin, which is which is going to be very exciting when we put them into the duos, because Tier 1 has the highest highs in the league, is amongst mid laners at the very least. He is a superstar on his picks, but he doesn't have as many superstar picks as Cardi does. Cardi is also much more of a team player. He makes the rest of his team look good while being really good. Whereas Dia just 1v9s.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes.
I think the essence, you can actually sum this matchup up with their achievements last year. Dia won back-to-back regular split MVP, got all the votes on the official broadcast and our broadcast.
Yeah.
He dominated both regular seasons, but in the end, both times,
Didn't win.
Kati. Yeah, Kati ended up with the title. So it's 2 titles against 2 MVP trophies, or however MVP is visualized here in Vietnam. I don't actually know. So this is really the essence of the matchup. Dia 1, more explosive, much more of the, let's say, Caps style of player. Very, very, very cool to watch. A lot of solo kills, a lot of weird outplays, but then maybe also a lack of some of the team plays that other players bring. And Kati, in the end, the most efficient mid laner, the mid laner you want for your team. You don't wish for Dia 1, you wish for Kati, because he can do almost anything. Maybe not the Jace carry, but he can do so much for your team. So it's always so enticing to watch these 2 clash on the Rift.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with Zeros back in the lineup, hopefully we are able to see Dio1 back in that mid lane that we, always look forward to seeing him in. But, of course, we have to talk a little bit about our first game of the day as well. Don't want to leave it out. Obviously, it's going to be the matchup that has a little bit more in terms of standing implication. Is going to be G Media Luxury going up against Team Flash. Now, obviously, both of these teams have been showing a little bit of their weak side in the first week. Are we expecting them to come back slightly stronger? And if so, how are we gonna do? How are they gonna be able to do this? I'll let you start us off this time.
Yeah, I'm going to start with Luxury, just because this team is very hard to gauge as well. We all expected them to place somewhere around 6th, 7th place, with SGB looking very much better than we expected. It's very good for them to already have 1 victory under the belt against the BTS yet last week. And I think this is actually quite a good opportunity for them to get another one against a struggling Flash that looked very underwhelming last week, that might still have a little bit of the problems coming in whenever you have so many new teammates. They don't have any synergy. GLX is coming in with a lot of synergy from the promo tournament. They look decent, not great, but also not bad. So I feel like GLX has a decent opportunity here in the first series to strike again and actually upset Flash and put Flash in a very, very precarious situation.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to see, our reigning champions going, sort of down the gutter in that sense. But let's focus in on what you're talking about, that upset that Luxury might be able to come pull over Team Flash. So, Vinny, why don't you walk us through a little bit about what we're expecting to see out of Luxury if they are able to pull this off? What are their win conditions going in towards this match?
If you're Luxury, you are looking for superstar plays coming out of your mid jungle duo. Your bot lane is by far your weakest point on the map, and even though DivKid and Pallet got rocked in their first series, it was up against Garm, so we have to take a little bit of salt with how bad Flash looked in week 1. This is their first showing since then. They have the ability to rebound against them, and GLX is a good team to do it against. But Blazers against BTS put up massive performances, massive numbers on Zoe and Syndra, I believe. And then Killer Queen and Sorn both are great junglers that if Meliodas continues to be invisible like he was on the Nidalee in week 1, that will give Sorn and Killer Queen the ability to influence the map, get the bot lane into a comfortable position, maybe get Kimkin ahead of Yoshino, and that's the main focus. Mid jungle.
Yeah, I think
that's sorry. No, keep going.
Yeah, I think what you just alluded to is actually the most interesting part about this matchup. We basically have a power advantage in mid jungle, which is famous for being the game deciding factor in the game for GLX, right? That's their those are their letters. So for luxury, and on the other side, both side lanes should be favored for flash, because that's where the big the long-standing, the championship players are, right? Palat in the bot lane, Yoshino in the top lane. Yoshino, 3-time back-to-back champion right now. Yeah, Palat, of course, won the last
actually
split.
winning.
Yeah. So I feel like this is we have two sides of very different of a matchup that can look very different. We kind of have to decide which side is going to be more stable, which weaker side is going to be more stable. Is it going to be Camken or the bot lane for GLX? Or is it going to be the mid jungle for Slash, able to kind of just scale into mid game and wait for Palat and Yoshino, the experienced carries, to take over and lead them to victory? So I feel like it's a cool power difference here in the teams, just in the lineups, that could actually give us a good series, a 3-game series I'm expecting here.
A 3-game series coming from Yulwei. We'll go into our predictions later on, but for now, once again, we apologize for the.
Predicted 3.
Hey, you can't take it back now. You gotta go change it. If it's not 3-game series, you gotta go back and
Yeah,
put
I
a 3-game.
did.
All right.
Lucky.
We are set then. Well, yeah, once again, we do apologize for the technical difficulties, and thank you to both my analysts here for giving us a little bit of insight, a bit of a snapshot into what we can expect. Definitely a action-packed day of games, I would assume, as always, in the VCS. Are there any other final thoughts you'd like to give our lovely audience before we go to a bit of a short break, so that we can have our videos properly synced, and hopefully they stay that way today?
Hopefully. I think it really mostly comes down to Meliodas and Blazers. Do we see game 1 Blazers? Do we see game 2 and 3 Blazers? Do we see last year's Meliodas or last summer's Meliodas? Do we see the Meliodas we saw from the Gauntlet series? These two players are probably the key points on each team, and if one shows up and the other doesn't, that team should be winning.
Yeah, I would say, even though we're all here waiting for the second series, we all know we want to see SBDC against GAM, all of these marquee matchups. Think about it. This first one is actually more important for the standings or the player and the playoff implications. We all expect GAM and SBTC to perform well enough to easily qualify for playoffs. So every victory in the lower or middle of the standings series are so much more important. So don't turn out just because it's not GAM playing immediately. This is going to be an interesting series that has a lot of implications.
Especially with Secret falling off the cliff.
Yeah. You're being nice, aren't you? Interesting series, Yulwei. This series, I'm just gonna say it, it's more likely to be a Fiesta, and here in the VCS, we absolutely adore Fiesta. So stick around.
Hey,
Gam is a... I'm expecting a more cohesive Fiesta there, man. It's gonna be slightly less of a Fiesta, a bit more of a siesta. But we are gonna be right back. It's gonna be about 5 minutes on timer. Hopefully our play-by-play caster finds his glasses so they can actually see the games by the time we come back. But don't go anywhere, everybody. We'll be right back. Stay right here with VCS English. We are live. Hello, everybody. We are back for Champ Select, and as you can see, our lovely play-by-play caster has still not found his glasses. So I am still here substituting in, and with me are still not every day, Yue and Vinny. We are now in Champ Select. It's G Media Luxury versus Team Flash.
And we have another Udyr. Oh no. Oh no.
It's your favorite. Actually, it is your favorite. Maybe. It's being hovered.
Oh.
Come on,
right.
Ralph.
Come on.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Okay.
I think
But we'll just do a quick recap because off the board, Zoe, Samira, Lucian, Camille, Aphelios, Olaf, targeting sort of these power picks. Two of the three Premier AD carries gone. The last one was first picked by GLX. Continue your way. Sorry.
no problem. So ADC already a little bit of a question mark now for Diffkid. Traditionally, he would go to. Wait, I don't actually know. What would Diffkid go to? His backup ADC most of the time was actually Aphelios, but now Aphelios isn't meta.
His misfortune was played a
well.
lot last year. So, and that's still sort of on the fringe of the meta. So it can also be a lethal combo with this.
I would like to see Vayne.
I wouldn't mind something, right?
Oh, of course. Diffkid is a big Xayah player as well. So Xayah makes a lot of sense into Kai'Sa. It's one of the premier, especially Chinese counter picks, but now has made its way everywhere in the world.
Just don't tell Slayer that.
I mean, Slayer traditionally has been a very good Xayah player as well. I think at the moment he's bad at everything he plays, so it doesn't really make it matter.
Okay.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah, but anyway, focusing back on this game. My bad for the tangent there. We are looking at that's gonna be Udyr jungle, right? I think there was whispers about Udyr top, but we aren't expecting it anytime soon. I've got my fingers crossed.
Udyr jungle. It's always Udyr jungle. The only reason he's played is because his damage is just overpowered. Because the champion is not made for pro play. Whenever Udyr gets played in pro play, you know that he's utterly broken in solo queue, which he is. He's at 54% or something. So his clear is just insane. He is done with his first clear at 302 or something if you play it perfectly, maybe even 301. So you can actually gank level 4 before Scuttlecrab spawns. That's something I think Olaf might be able to do. Karthus is another one who's barely able to get the timer down, but even the really fast clearing junglers like Lilia, like Talia, can't do it this fast. So yeah, he's just insane.
His clear's insane. His running speed is ridiculous. He's one of the few that can actually catch up to Lilia in normal situations. But we're gonna see Kemkin took this Gnar blind. They tried to ban out some counters, but you can't get away from it. The croc always comes.
Croc.
As Yoshino's going to lock that in and
Well,
probably look to smash this
into
top.
Gnar, right? So
It's a weird thing because the early levels are terrible for Gnar, but once he's able to sort of use that tankiness to his advantage on the transformation, it gets a little bit better because he does have that innate range for most of the matchup. But if Udyr can make his way into that top side, that should be a dead Gnar. That should be get Renekton to a point where Gnar cannot do anything into him in the side lane.
yeah, I'd agree with that. So top lane, I would have liked to see something different in top lane. We all know Yoshino is a big Cannon player. I know Cannon isn't great right now, but Cannon into Gnar can be a very good matchup. Outranges Gnar at all stages. Gets away from Mega Gnar as well, so can actually kite him forever. Yoshino is a very good player on that champion. You could also just go Enchanter into Gnar, honestly, because Gnar can't really threaten ranged champions, so you just get a free lane for Lulu, for Ivern even. Not the biggest fan of Renekton. Feels like a very lazy pick to me, where they just don't know what to play. So the overall Flash draft, look at this. It's a lot of late game team fighting with Azir, Rel, and of course Xayah. So very strong 2019 team fighting comp. And then for no reason whatsoever, Renekton slept on top of that.
I mean, with Renekton, it gives them a strong point in the early game for pressure. That's somewhere that Udyr can try and influence if he's not just looking to try and accelerate the late game of the mid and bot. But in the end, it turns out sort of looking like GLX and Flash are both trying to play the same sort of composition. late game scaling control mages. We're back to 2015, boys. Victor versus Year.
Oh no.
These engaged
boy.
supports in the bot lane. Late game, mid to late game 80 carries. Then these early game bruisers on the top lane. And just two junglers that run really fast at you. So,
Yeah, and both junglers who don't really want to gank either. So we should be in for a slower one. We should be in for waiting for 2-3 items. We have at least one carry on either side that really relies on 3 items. We have Xayah, very heavy champion, needs a lot of gold to function. And then Victor, kind of the same, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, Victor doesn't really do much until he hits like 2 items where he can really control team fights. Gets all his evolutions and just does so much damage, so much speed, and so much zone control. So I feel like this is going to go into the 35-40 minute range, and we might see some very cool team fights.
definitely is.
Alright, I think I'm taking first game. So Vinny,
I think you're taking first game.
why don't you shoot us? Wait, who's casting first?
I'm casting the first game.
Okay, you shoot us. Your lovely prediction. We didn't get to go over the graphic, but what do you think? What's gonna come out of this game?
Oh, it's so hard to predict. I feel like GLX is going to take this one, but it's very hard to predict for me. But I feel like top lane, Kemkin can weather the storm. Blazes and Shine are going to hit the late game point.
Mhm.
And yeah, I feel like Parker and Divkid are a little bit too heavy on their champions when it comes to waiting for items. So yeah, GLX. That's
Right. You know he's not very certain when he doesn't give a minute mark prediction.
Yeah. He has no idea, and it's fair enough. These two teams are so similar in their compositions that it's not really easy to say who has the definite advantage. And then you're looking at how these players can execute. This late invade could be sort of a dub, could backfire on GLX as they're going in for the invade.
Meliodas over the wall.
But Meliodas,
Oh.
yeah, he could come over the wall. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm probably behind.
Oh, I'm at 39, 40. He comes over the wall now.
no,
There is
no.
going to be a fight. Alistair knocks 2 up. I can't tell who the blue buff went over to. Meliodas, I think, got it.
The
He's
blue
level
buff
2.
made
He's
it to
running
Meliodas,
away.
Yes.
If nobody dies here, it's going to be a good trade for Flash. As we see a bit of a freeze flame, a bit of a skirmish going on in the mid lane. Both mid laners now a little lower. But overall, it's going to be a positive trade for Flash. They secure their blue buff.
Yeah, Flash being able to pick up that kill, that blue buff and get Meliodas off to a good start. They had to blow Flash on the Udyr and the heal on Divkid, so the gank potential is a little bit weakened. The bot lane's gonna have a bit of a struggle in the early game. Just not gonna have that summer spell. The threat of the all-in is gonna be much more potent. So they get the blue buff, and that sets Udyr ahead in terms of his speed, in terms of his jungle here. It sets him in the, which he was already going to have that advantage just because of the champion. So that's going to get him rolling. He's going to need to look for a reset at some point though, because he is extremely low after
Yeah.
taking these Krogs. My God.
His health bar is like 1 pixel at this point on the scoreboard. So
Yeah.
I was sort of thinking maybe, hey, you're a hit, you might be able to go for an early gank, but obviously I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. We are going to see Alistair roaming up a little bit here, though. Just knowing where the enemy jungler is, just putting down some extra vision.
Yeah, definitely knows that Udyr's not going to be sticking around on the top side. The smite for Meliodas does mean he's able to get back into a sort of healthy range to continue his clear, but Sorn able to get in and take the scuttle crab away. Meliodas has to reset now. Can't risk taking these raptors. They just do too much damage. And Blaze is currently getting the advantage over Parquet, means that Sorn is going to be very, very safe in finishing off his clear. And it is worth mentioning, Sorn is in. They're really wanting this experience coming up against Meliodas, against Flash, to try and work around this early game.
Mm-hmm. And it
So we're
speaks to,
seeing
how much is on the line for both these two teams, right? Obviously, if they want to get in playoffs, they want to avoid relegations at the end of the split. So anything they are able to pick up earlier on is definitely good. So they're leaning on Sorn a little bit with the experience, like you were alluding to. They definitely want to pick up this win here against Flash.
Yeah, and we're just seeing Meliodas. He's fallen behind a lot in the jungle clear because he did take so much damage in the early game that it meant that the tempo lead on getting that camp ended up not affecting it, not really working out for him because he had to reset. That lost his tempo. He didn't end up getting double scuttled though. He was able to pick up that bot one, which is good. Having his bot lane with the priority push, meaning he gets that one for free. As Blazes is just out trading Parker again and again in this mid lane. The CS is still even, so that's a good sign for them. But this could be a sign of things to come. Even though we do expect Parquet should be spiking earlier on the Nash's Tooth, if he decides to go for that first, may just rush his Mythic for a bit more upfront burst potential. He should be online a little bit sooner, but which should bring the matchup back in his favor, but bot lane.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a skirmish in the bot lane. Divkit going very, very low. Bisbo, that's a flash from Shine. He's trying to commit, but Divkit's just going to live with a sliver of health. Bladecaller doesn't do anything, and it's going to be a positive trade in favor of G Media Luxury. They both walk away, but Divkit, he's looking pretty damn low.
Yeah, Divkit did not have his heal. It's only just now coming back off cooldown. Had to blow his flash. Luckily, with Shine following that, they were able to trade summoner spells and not give up the kill. But that pressure, that health advantage, that's going to be turned into this dragon. Yep. That's going to give GLX the start of that snowball. And if nothing else, that Infernal Drake will start doing wonders once we get to those late game team fights. And you need every sort of advantage you can get.
Mm-hmm. And this is sort of a long-term conversion of that, early gameplay that we did see. You can see Udyr right now not spending his time very wisely. Fortunately for him, that Grom did respawn at that time. If not, he'd be wasting a hell of a lot of time. But Kemken is trying to get it back. Meliodas, he's a fast boy. He's Udyr. He's going to get the blast cone. He's going to get out. And Kemken's just going to go back under his turret. But overall, we're seeing a good early game from Luxury. They managed to secure the dragon, even though Flash does have about a 100 gold lead at the moment.
Yeah, definitely great moves coming out from GLX, utilizing their map movements to great effect. I'm not entirely sure where this gold lead is coming from. Has a plate gone down or something? Because there's no real CS lead as Pallet might be caught out.
Yeah, Pallet is caught out, but he does have backup. Parker and Meliodas are here. The ADC Divkit is going to back him up as well, forcing the flash from the Alistair. Nothing else going to come of it. Everyone is going to return to their lanes.
Yeah, just the threat of Parquet looking for that Shurima shuffle is enough to force the flash out of Bisbo. He has the Hex Flash, so his playmaking potential is still there. He's not crippled that much by it, but it is something for nothing. You take this. And you didn't really have to commit anything.
Yeah,
it'd be what it be.
Yeah, it'd be what it be. The goal lead has returned to where we'd expect it to be as a bit of a wet noodle fight happens in the top lane. I don't think we are going to be really expecting much to come from this, Nara and Necton. They're just going to trade blows over and over again. I want to focus in on what we were talking about in Champ Select, right? Our mid jungle duo. This is where we really expect most of the action to happen. What are your thoughts so far? How is the performance of these players in your mind?
I think Blazes has been showing up very well in terms of just what we've seen. Hasn't really done a lot because there's just really trading patterns going on.
Oh, we gotta hold that thought bot lane. That might continue that thought. Yeah, carry
on. Meanwhile, that early preparation from Sorn has set Meliodas into a point where he can't really have that early game impact he really wants on Udyr. It's not like Udyr necessarily falls off. He's still going to be fast. That bear form is always going to be relevant as they may be clashing in the jungle.
Yeah, definitely looks like they are going to spot out Soren. Is going to pick up the red buff. Is going to chase Meliodas away. That's a sleep. That's a flash. He's not going to get the blast cone. That's going to be Soren picking up first blood onto the enemy jungler. Meliodas, you're not having a good day right now.
No, Meliodas is not completely caught unawares by Soren. Gets the red buff from him, and Meliodas just decides to book it. He took too much damage. He just gets run down, but now Bisbo, you might be out of position, my friend. Nope, no, he's not. He's fine.
Yeah, he just takes the Blast Cone. Will escape from that, and it's just going to be a reset in the mid lane. Fortunately, Parquet does have that blue buff to keep him a little bit topped up to clear over that wave. And now Soren, he's just pushing that advantage. He picked up the dragon early on. Now he's transferring over to the Rift Herald, but Meliodas, he's here. He wants to play. Looks like he might want to contest, but we're going to go into a replay. Vinny, take us away.
Yeah, we just see Meliodas. He took a little bit too much damage from that red buff to the point where he doesn't want to fight, but the damage was done. The dot was ticking, which just means the sleep, the follow flash over the wall, and as we come back to live, we see Meliodas has picked up the Rift Herald, and Blazers has been killed on the on the bottom half of that. Just solo kill from the Rel.
Alright, VTV, we're really gonna have to begin talking a little bit about these replay timings. Like, what is going on, man?
So I caught a little bit before we went into that last replay. We're just gonna see the solo kill in this replay. Just caught him in rotation. The ignite was enough to finish him off. Seems good, but we saw there was a massive trade of ultimates and damage in the mid lane before that Rift Herald start. Parquet came out ahead of that. Pallet made the first run. Meliodas was back on the map, which meant Blazers couldn't really help Sorn out. He had to give up his pressure on the Rift Herald. That gives the opportunity for Flash and Meliodas to just come in, finish the job, take the Rift Herald. Now they have an objective they can work with. Maybe look to punish a mid lane. Maybe look to make something happen on the bot lane and try and snowball one of these side lanes.
Yeah, the question now becomes where they are going to put it down. It looks like there's going to be a bit of a coordinated push from Flash towards the bottom side. Of course, the dragon is up, so that could be the objective that they're looking for. Luxury, they're here to answer, and they just about managed to chase Flash away from this river.
Yeah, they seem to push them away very effectively. Meliodas too busy taking wolves, and they've decided to just give this dragon up. They're not looking to fight at this stage in the game. I think that's a bit of a mistake. They're feeling a little bit weak right now, but they definitely could have fought. Could have at least tried to pressure make it so they had to work for that fight, work for that dragon a little bit more. But we move on to this Ocean Rift.
Yeah,
that's going to be a massive point of play for these teams, especially GLX, because they want to get this Ocean Soul. They have the 2 dragon advantage. And we are yet to see Meliodas really make a play, make anything happen. However, I'm a big fan of Sorn now.
Okay.
He's done it. He's built the Moonstone. What a champion. What a good boy. What a good lad. This opens up Blazers to build that Leandries against this tanky lineup of Renekton and Udyr. Now we're gonna see Meliodas make his way top lane. They're going to try and bait Kemkem in.
Alright, Meliodas, your time to shine. You've not been having a good day today. This is your time to turn it around. As it looks like it's happening, Yoshino will stun up Kemkem. They're going in. Meliodas going in, whacking him with the Phoenix, but it's just going to be a flash, and Kemkem gets out under the safety of his turret.
Yeah, lots of damage dealt though. So he is going to have to reset. They could try and drop the Herald on this wave, but no, Meliodas going to take that quick reset and look to make something else happen. Meanwhile, we saw Parquet in the
Alright, bot lane. Okay, that's going to be Rel just running in. The Blade Caller does root up the Alistair, but he's a very, very tanky boy right now. Bisbo, he's trying to turn it around. Pellet with the Ignite ticking down, but he's low. He's not going down just yet. It's just going to be another trade where nobody dies. Are we sure we're watching the VCS, Vinny?
I don't know. There's a lot of fighting going on, but there's no kills to prove that.
What's my Fiesta?
I mean, we're getting that. It's just not a very bloody one. It's a light Fiesta. It's a nice, wholesome, family-friendly Fiesta. Not too much in the way of blood and violence. PG-rated Fiesta.
All right, well, Rift Herald's being used right now. Not to
great effect.
Yeah.
Caught on the minions. Way too late to get platings. I mean, it was a freebie. They didn't actually have to invest much into getting that Rift Herald, so it's not as if they sunk 10 minutes into trying to secure it and then get nothing out of it. But they had that objective, and it's been put to waste. But now Kemken, he's trying to do a bit of counter jungling.
Oh, we've seen this before.
Just gonna say thanks for the leash.
Meliodas gets it this time. Yeah, he gets his red buff at long last. But I want to zoom out a little bit, right? Because we're seeing some passages of play from Flash that aren't really making all that much sense. I mean, they've been playing a little skittery, running away from the dragon when they definitely could have contested. We saw that, attempted gank in the top lane, which, sort of reeks of desperation to me. And now we saw, whatever that was in the bot side of the map. Are we seeing a little bit of a confidence drought from Flash? Because they aren't looking like they're making very, very cohesive plays at the moment.
We're definitely seeing them sort of play very conservatively for most of their plays. That bot lane attempt was a very good move out of Palette, but DivKid just with really poor target selection, hammering away on the ulted Alistar instead of focusing Shine.
Oh boy, someone's caught out. Machino pops the Dominus, is just going to walk away. No follow-up from Luxury. And our family-friendly Fiesta continues.
Yeah, and what you're gonna see, Kemken's got the ult, so they're gonna be looking for a dive, but Meliodas has made his way in unnoticed.
Meganar coming out, looking for their opportunity. Looks like they're just gonna back away. No chance of a dive just yet. The Meganar is ticking down. He's just gonna do a little bit of BM.
The family-friendly fun continues. That's why we're all here. We're all here for family-friendly fun.
Are we though?
Not unrelenting violence, as they may be going in now.
Yep, the TP's coming in. We're definitely going to see a fight right now. Bisbo's in the front line. Palette goes in. That's going to be a 2v1. Bisbo tanking up a whole lot of damage. That's got two-man sleep. And Palette does go down at the end of it. The second TP comes through. That Rift Herald's on 2,600 health. They've got to look for something, but Flash is very, very low, and Luxury, they're saying, we're just going to chase this down. We're going to secure it. Soren picks up the Rift Herald, and Flash, they just back away. It's a 1-for-0 plus Rift Herald in favor of Luxury.
And they're going to convert that straight away into the mid lane turret, giving them even more pressure in the jungles of Flash. Meliodas has already had to fight tooth and nail for his red buffs. Now he's going to have an even harder time because the vision access is going to be so easy, and they're even going to convert it into a dragon. So they are getting absolutely everything on the map. They're going to get a second charge from the Herald without even supporting it. Flash are just not here today. They're not here to play.
Yep.
Palette tried to make something happen, but he had no follow-up. Parquet was playing too scared. DivKid, I don't actually know if DivKid was in that fight, to be fair, but
he was.
The rest of Flash then just not being able to not following up, not taking that killer instinct. And last year we said Flash was like the least VCS team we had. They played slow, they played control, but here that's all the negatives of that slow control play, because they're not really taking the advantages that they should be taking. Whereas a slow control team does make plays, they just make selective plays, not no play.
We're seeing Flash sort of take this to the extreme. What they're doing is effectively what all the LCK teams are doing when Damwon was steamrolling through them last year. And we know how that turned out. It's not going to look very good for Flash unless they, find that mental switch,
win
turn
worlds?
it on. I would be very happy if that happens. Unfortunately, I think we're still a decade out. I'm going to get flamed by Vietnam now.
I mean, like, I don't think you will be flamed, but I wouldn't be surprised if Vietnamese fans, and Garm fans in particular, would flame you for saying Damwon is better than Garm.
I never said that, you said that.
You implied it.
I didn't say it. Anyway.
Okay, sure. But anyway, back to what we have at hand of two lesser teams than either of those. Yeah, Flash, they are losing in pretty much every metric across the board. The only thing they have going for them is Yoshino is even in CS. and that is not a good look when your only champion, your early game champion, is even as Pallets going in.
Alright, they're making a play. Pallets going in is going to be a 3v1. They have to be able to pick up this kill, right? Blazes, he's trying his darndest to run away, but Meliodas is on the chase. The Phoenix whacks him one more time, gets the kill. They're trying to get out, but they are in enemy territory. Is there going to be an answer? Kemken, he actually might just be stepping up too far. Hops over the wall, but the Crocodile is there. It looks like Flash, they're taking the safe path once again. They're backing off. They're just going to pick up the red buff and disengage.
Yeah. You're diving between two towers just to try for a Nal who's already really close to his second turret. That's okay to back off from that. You've already created enough pressure for Yoshino to get more turret damage down. He may be able to pick this up, but with Gemkin going Mega Gnar, probably, yeah, wise move to back off there. They finally make something happen, getting a pick onto Blazers, but they had to invest a lot to get it. And you are seeing just how far behind this Flash roster is, where they have to commit so much just to kill a Victor who is well out of position.
But hey, it's something, right? They're making a play, and this is what we want to see. Maybe not to that extent, but it's something in the sense of what we want to see. Now, I don't want to focus too much on the negatives now that we have a little bit of time. It is still just about a 3k gold deficit at the moment. Flash, they're definitely not out of it. If they are able to turn on, that mental switch like I was talking about and finally look for some plays to be made, they can definitely get their way back into this game. But my question to you, Vinny, is where they should focus their efforts, where they should look for these plays, maybe when their next break point is, where they can, claw their way back, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they need to be looking for some way to attack the main carries. Pick onto Blazers is a good start. Now you just need to find maybe a pick onto the Lilia in particular, and then you can turn that into an objective that GLX can't contest because they won't have the smite available. Or you look to ambush a team fight and pick up an immediate kill onto Shine. But they have to look to find these picks. They have the talented players. They can do it mechanically. They just need that fire lit under them so that they can move. They actually decide we're gonna take this play and we're gonna outperform GLX, because that's where they should be able to do it. They should be able to take it to them mechanically as players, but they are just letting themselves be run over. They're not putting in the pressure that they need to. And we're going to see a little bit of a ARAM coming out of Flash as this top wave gets pushed in, and GLX are just running the map.
Yeah, and we talk about a fire being lit under them. Well, Baron is up. Luxury is on Dragon Point. It's 5 minutes away from that Dragon. But it looks like Luxury, they're just gonna chase Flash away again. Will they start up this Dragon?
It's now or never. They have to go, and they're gone.
It is. Come on, the fire's going. Meliodas goes into TP is channeled. It's gonna be the first kill onto Blazers. Divkit picks that up. There's gonna be a Crocodile in the backline. Flash, Yoshino, he's trying his
Meliodas
best.
Low.
He's very low
Can't
right
get
now.
the Dragon.
They can't get a Dragon. Dragon resets just a little bit. Kemken is in the backline. That's going to be an Azir wall. But look at how low Flash are. It's just going to be easy pickings for Luxury. If they get in there, there's going to be a sleep only onto one. The Dragon Soul is secured by Luxury. And looks like Flash, without the objective, they might just try to disengage. They are looking to pick some things up off the back end. Bisbo is out of position. But it looks like he's remaining undetected just enough. That Flash, all they get out of that is the first kill onto Blaze and one kill on Kemken.
They fought so hard, but they committed too much from Meliodas too early. He was chunked down so much that he wasn't able to actually get into the fight, get near the Dragon and take it away. As we go into this replay, we're going to see Meliodas commits so much and they blow up Blazers immediately, but look how low Meliodas has taken off that Chaos Storm. Yoshino as well in that backline, but they can't burst the Dragon down, and then Shine and Kemken and Bisbo in particular, they do so well. They get into the backline and just try and make sure Meliodas cannot get in. And then Shine and Sorn take that opportunity to burst down the Dragon. They pick up the Dragon Soul. That's going to put them into a situation where I think the game is just locked for GLX, especially with how Flash has been sort of playing this cowardly.
Yeah, and Blazers is caught out again. Meliodas not having the damage, not having the back of his team, but now he's the one being caught up. Here comes the cow. He's gonna be put to sleep, and it looks like there may be another team fight breaking out very, very shortly. A TP comes through. It's gonna be Kemken joining the fight. I don't think he has Meganar. And it looks like Flash is trying their best to disengage, but they do have the Meganar. They're going in. The Kai'Sa trying to chase down Yoshino. Divkit is trapped between a rock and a hard place, will go down. Soren picks up that kill, and it's looking like it's going from bad to worse for Team Flash. And without their AD carry, without their main frontline in the form of Yoshino, Bisbo in the back line, they're peeling away from the Baron. Bisbo manages to find Parke, will get that kill, and it looks like they're just going to finish the Baron. And I think, like you were saying, this is just going to be a game lock for G Media Luxury.
Yep. And you're seeing the power of the Ocean Soul. Blaze is caught out immediately. Caught out at the start, and he's straight back to full health. Kemken's going to look for a little bit more. He might get it, yeah.
Yeah. He's
That's Palette down.
I mean...
and they're just going to pick up the rest of these outer turrets. They're probably going to take a crack at the base. They're definitely not going to turn this Baron into the game win unless Flash ints it away. But they're going to get so much gold out of it. They've got a good number of kills. As we're going to probably quickly go into a replay. Yeah, we see this is after Blazers was attempted to be caught out. This is where we see the start of the main fight. We see them engage all hog onto Yoshino, but can't get anything really done. Oh, they actually do kill him. Eventually, they just run him down, but Divkid's caught out in the back of the pit. Then a beautiful flank from Bisbo into the red pit. Hex flash over the wall kills Parque on the other side, and that just means Baron. That just means mid lane turrets. That means another kill onto Palette. They just tore through. Flash, and Flash has no response. And Son, I love this man.
He's great.
I do not see this item built on Lilia's enough. Demonic Embrace is so good. Because you jump into the middle of your team, you press Q once, and you get so many stats. So much armor and magic resist. You become basically a tank in your own right. Plus, you're doing plenty of damage in damage over time. More people need to build this item. In Pro, it's so good.
Yeah, not to mention, just his overall impact on this game, right? He's been,
yes.
I think, orchestrating a lot of the plays, a lot of the rotations that we've been seeing throughout the game, really, for the side of Luxury, and we're seeing how that's paying off for them. They've gotten basically every single objective on the map. Flash, they don't have a turret, they don't have a dragon. It's looking very, very dire for them, and is this really the point? Like, we were talking about it before, but I'm just, sort of confirming that we're not being, we're not trying to make a, what's the word, metaphor, right? Is this really the end for Flash? Are they really unable to come back from this game?
I think this game is definitely done and dusted. There is always the chance, it is the VCS, bigger throws have happened.
Oh god.
There could be an Elder Drake throw, there could be a lot of things that go wrong for GLX, but
is
I
this
think
going to be one of them? It looks like Pallet. He's going very low. I think the Alistair actually went into the entire enemy team, and it's going to be a big sleep. Oh my word, GLX. They are just going to clean it up. Divkit, he's trying his best. The Blades actually do come down. They actually do pick up the kill, but he's going to be the next one going down. Meliodas, the only one alive on Flash. As GLX, they turn their focus, everyone except for Kemken, that is, onto the inhibitor. It's going to be a 1v1. Phoenix versus Little Ratman. Who's going to win? Looks like the Fountain's the one that's going to win. But GLX, they're just going to sort of clean house here.
I mean, Little Ratman could be a description of Udia, to be honest. But yes.
I mean, he doesn't have a rat. He doesn't have a rat in his kit. So no, we ain't doing that.
Yes. Excellent play in that last team fight from GLX. Bisbo coming up with a huge knockup, and that is going to be what they need to take that Nexus down. Eventually.
Eventually, it's going to go down. Oh my word.
There we go.
Woo! They do it. Alright, GLX with the 1-0 now. You're going to see if they're able to complete the upset. But I would wager that with the way that Flash is sort of playing now, it's not going to be much of an upset.
It does not seem that way. And Flash are really looking for clear direction in their games. That's what they're lacking. Their gameplay for the most part is fine. There's no major mechanical mistakes, just decision-making errors. Their compositions are great. Yeah, they need a clear direction, and hopefully we can see that in the next game.
Yep, next game it is. We'll be back with Yulwei in just about 7 minutes on the timer, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to day 2 of week number 2 of VCS Spring. We're still going through technical difficulties. We apologize for that, and the name tags there are wrong. But I'm joined with Vinny and Yulwei. What are our thoughts about our previous game? We talked about GLX possibly being able to upset. That does look like it's gonna be very, very likely right now against Flash with the way that they're playing. Yulwei, why don't you start us off?
I feel like you can't even call it an upset after that game anymore. I mean, we went of pre-split expectations mostly with predicting who would come out on top, right? Because it's only one series, and yeah, okay, we have seen GLX twice already, and they looked on and off and kind of middling. And then we saw Flash against Gum, so it's very hard to draw a conclusion after a Gum series, right? It's just, yeah, well, Flash didn't look great, but on the other hand, it was Gum, right? So we all expected Flash to look a little bit better, especially the veterans, but this is rough. This is a really bad showing once again, especially for Meliodas. What an utterly useless Udyr he was.
Yeah, get him off that champion, please. I don't want to see Meliodas Udyr ever again in this split, actually.
I feel like I don't want to see VCS Udyr ever again.
We've had one good
VCS
showing.
Udyrs, yeah, one game out of 5? 20%? Not great.
1 out of 4 or 5. I just want to butt in here and say that everybody here has Flash winning. Yoli, you have it 2-1. Everyday has it 2-1, and Vinny has it 2-0. So, yeah. Vinny, I'll throw over to you. You were obviously casting with me, but do you have any other final thoughts on that interesting game one?
Yeah, I think better protection for Meliodas so he doesn't fall behind on that jungler that needs to be farming, doesn't have that tempo loss with the forced early reset. But Meliodas has been such a letdown so far. Hopefully he can get back that form that we really wanted him to be at. Mm-hmm. But it's a real struggle. It's just so depressing to watch this team of really good players just not know what to do in the game. And so I think they need to pick either a composition that has absolutely no thought behind it, like something like Malphite and then just full front to back dive, or I don't know. I don't know. They went for full 5v5 team fight and couldn't execute that, so
we will have to see as we jump into Champions League right here. It's gonna be just the standard bans at the moment. Nothing to write home about. Nothing adapted from the previous game just yet.
No, nothing.
I would really like to see Meliodas on a comfort champ from last split, maybe. He played a lot of different champions, so he should actually have a lot there to offer his team. I'm not sure if you should put him on a new champ like Udyr. New in terms of new in the meta. Of course, he's really not a new champion. But yeah, maybe try to put Meliodas on a comfort champ. Maybe even a Lee Sin. He had amazing Lee Sin performances, even though his Lee Sin isn't really meta right now. Just give him something to work with. We need to see a spark of life from Meliodas.
Yep, it's gonna be Div Kit Kai'Sa if they lock it in. So I definitely agree with you. I think putting Flash right now on full comfort, give all of their players their best champion and see what happens. I think that's the best way that they can approach this game right now. Vinny, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's definitely the way to go. Maybe you look to put Meliodas on one of the things he was really able to carry on last split, put him on the Graves. I mean, we saw him on the Nidalee, but Nidalee has been hit with quite a bit of changes. Definitely not as strong on the new patch, especially with the Night Halves build, which is what we saw last game, out of Meliodas. So maybe we see him on the Lilia, maybe we see him on the Graves. The Graves, we know he can play to a pretty high level, so I'd be leaning more towards that, but he's going to pick up the Lilia. We're going to see where they go for that. GLX have decided, we're going to show you how to play the bear.
Alright. And your always wishes of no more VCS Udyr are dashed once again.
Well, but at least it's Son, and Son is the premier farming jungler in the league. I say that because Levi is on the same level as Son in terms of farming, but Levi can also play the other style. Son really excels at farming. He had the best CS different stats a few splits ago. even with Levi in the league, he is amazing at his pathing choices and just adapting to be as efficient as possible. So I believe this is a champion that should fit Zorn, and once again playing against Lilia. So we'll have to see if Lilia can get away here. Might have to adapt her rune choices from Dark Harvest more into something like Face Rush to run away from this very, very dangerous Udyr.
Yeah, and if Son is able to run away with this game, man, oh boy, this boy, he's a good jungler in the VCS. He is top tier, you know.
Yeah, if Meliodas ends up losing both sides of this jungle matchup, it's gonna really spell bad news for Flash, because that's not something you want to see. Now,
Yeah, jungle needs to be on the top level in the VCS. Always had to be, because junglers are so good. We are the jungle region. We have so many amazing junglers, so your jungler slumping is a death sentence almost.
yeah, we're seeing a bit of a change in the ban strategy from Flash.
No more realm.
Looking to take away some of these engaged supports. However, the Alistair is still available for Bizbo if he so chooses. And he looked fantastic on that pick last game. So many multi-man headbutt pulverized combinations. Completely tore Flash apart in that game. So I'd like to see it again. It pairs well with Dosire as on top of that. So that could be a nice strong bot lane. But Pantheon has managed to get all the way down to this pick. Oh,
That's a support Pantheon, right?
Yeah, it is.
could be a
Mid
That's very surprising. Not the greatest position for a Pantheon right now, I believe. I think he's firmly a jungler and maybe a top laner. So let's see what he can do as support again into Kai'Sa and probably Set. Maybe Set is going mid lane, who knows. We again see the Renekton into the blind. Now, I really don't like this. Please, Yoshino can play mages. He can play scaling. Just give him something to teamfight. You can even give him Ornn. I don't care. I hate Ornn, but still. Why always Renekton into Na? And Renekton is always going to get nothing done in top lane. He scales better now with the new items, of course, but still. Yoshino isn't even that great a Renekton player in my memory. So I don't understand what's going on with Flash's drafts. Looks like a really big step back to former struggles where Surge was known and memed for some of his draft choices.
Right, and you know, for a champion who really wants to get ahead early, right? What did we see Yoshino accomplish in the previous game? In the early game, nothing. In the mid game, nothing. In the late game, you want to take a guess?
He
Nothing.
died a
A whole
lot.
lot?
He died. Okay. I mean, the only thing I can remember from this Renekton in the previous game is that teleport into 3 people where he just got absolutely annihilated. So I agree with you. Don't really like this pick, but we are going to see a Syndra come through from Parquet, and if memory serves me well, this is going to be a bit of a comfort for him in the mid lane.
Yes, but it's matched on the other side by the Twist of Fate, which
Right.
sets GLX up with a fantastic composition in terms of finding picks, especially in rotation, and like 3 point and click stuns on your roster. You have a fantastic pick composition to make work, and if Flash continue to run around like headless chickens, that's going to be easy pickings.
Definitely. I'm just personally happy to see, you know, Flash, like we were talking about, move a little bit more towards comfort. Obviously, Yoshino being the main outlier on that, we do see Set being played by Palette here, and overall, I do believe that, you know, if we are gonna see an improvement from Flash over the previous game, it's gonna be this game.
Yep, I agree with that. I think a lot comes down to mid jungle here. Once again, we talked about this before the series even started. Mid jungle advantage we saw on the side of GLX definitely came to fruition in the first game, and I feel like if Flash wants to attempt to win a game, because they haven't even won a game yet this split, as the champions coming in, they really need good performances from Parker and Meliodas. Parker needs to pressure Blazes out of lane, because if Blazes is allowed to freely roam, Divkid and Yoshino are going to be in trouble. And the scaling, I mean, it's pretty even on both sides. But if you get the Na ahead of the Renekton is never coming back. If you get the Kai'Sa ahead of the Xayah needs so much time to come back. So this is once again a dangerous one. A little bit better, I agree though.
But we are on the riff right now, so Yulwei, I'm going to need your final thoughts. Who is going to win the game? Is Luxury going to be able to pick up that quote-unquote upset that we were talking about earlier on in the day?
Yeah, I feel like Luxury is coming in with a lot of confidence, with a very nice momentum under the belt. So I feel like Son is just going to run over this map, going to hit level 6 at 6 minutes, and we're going to see a 27-minute victory for GLX.
Alright, Son is going to show us a masterclass in jungling once again, is what Yulwei is trying to say. But Vinny, just you and I
There's the
now.
timer. That was the time call.
Oh.
27 minutes. He's confident. But yes,
He
we're
knows
gonna
what
have
he
to
wants.
see. We're gonna have to see Flash really step up if they're gonna take GLX down. They're late invading, but GLX Blazers on the back. He's got this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he wants to be there. It's just gonna be a repeat of the previous game. Oh, that's a huge pull though, as Bisbo is severely out of position right now. He goes in the bush, he loses vision for a little bit, but he is the first blood. Is gonna be answered onto by Shine, picks up the kill onto Parquet on the Syndra, and it's gonna be a mid laner for a support. I think it's a little bit worth for the side of Luxury right here, especially since no camps were traded. It looks like we're not yet
And
done
such a
though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we're done now.
little bit of a good step up from the side of GLX. They come out with the health lead. They come out with a kill onto Parquet. He is able to return to lane with his tier in check after picking up that first blood. As we see, yeah, they rushed in. They tried to do the same thing that Luxury did to them in the last game, but Blazers is here. Sorn with extra CC, 2 level 1 point and click stuns. Actually, no, Bisbo started his Q to bring damage, which meant they had a little bit of struggle in getting that first pick, but there was enough AoE damage coming out from the red card, from the pass-through of the feathers, and it just meant that
okay.
it just meant that GLX were able to get that health advantage, even though they did lose the first blood.
Yeah, I think the most unfortunate thing to come out of that was, both mid laners just using their flash. We saw Parquet use his flash like the split second before he died, and Blazers obviously in that backside. Not quite sure if he had to be there. He got out a gold card, but not much else, having been forced to flash away. So this is a mid lane on both sides without a very crucial summoner spell.
Yeah, it was a great idea in sort of like boxing the flash invade in, but it did mean he had to use his flash defensively. I mean, they came out of it ahead, so they can't complain that much. And
Seth pulling him in. Oh my word, that's going to be a good pull. Shine just managing to get out of it with the flash that he saved. Meliodas on the backside, will he try to go for it? Looks like he will. A TP coming in to try to save this bot lane from Luxury. It's going to be just about enough. No. Flash, they're trying to commit for this. They're trying to make something happen, and Shine does go down. Divkid is the one picking that up. A good pull from Palette. My word, this man is good on this champion. They pick up the kill onto the Pantheon. Parquet's on the turret, but no more is going to come off of that. A good early gameplay coming up from the side of Flash.
Fantastic play coming out of the bot lane of Palette and Divkid making stuff happen. Meliodas boxing the bot lane of GLX in, meaning they could not get away and were left at the mercy of Team Flash. That's going to put Divkid really far ahead. And coming into this game, we're going to see a replay. Just great Hex Flash face break onto Shine.
Yep.
Gets herded back under turret by Meliodas, which just means, and the poke from Divkid means he's gets Shine down to nothing, able to flash in and pick up that kill, and they even draw out the teleport from Blazers, whereas Parquet is able to just walk down to lane. He does, of course, doesn't have a teleport, and then again, Palette, beautiful face breaker, sets up another kill onto Bisbo. Palette is just so good on this champion. And I was going to say in draft that this sort of setup for Flash is a bit of a good step in the right direction, because the onus isn't on them to make plays. They don't have that much in terms of hard engage. They have a bit of pick, but they mostly rely on disengage and team fighting, where forcing GLX to come to them. However, Palette just turns that on his head and makes massive outplay in the bot lane, and that's going to accelerate Divkid really far ahead of Shine, and now they have a super strong point they can carry around.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to talk about, right? Flash are the ones making the early game plays right now, and this is what we wanted to see from them coming into this game. Obviously, I think they're going to lose this dragon here. Actually, no, it's going to be a bit of a contest. Flash pellets just running at them. Is he going to get the pull? He gets one. He doesn't get the stun. Shine in a very, very precarious position right now. Is surviving for a little longer than he should be, though, as Flash comes in from the backline and tries to capitalize, but they are the ones being caught out right now. It's going to be a 2v4. Pantheon with the shield up gets a decent chunk of damage blocked. As Flash, they are still on the chase. Are they chasing or are they trying to escape? Who knows at this point? Blazers, he's trying to catch everybody up, but now it's a 4 versus 1. Palette gets the pull once again, and it looks like Blazers is going down. It's a 5-1 lead in terms of kill. Flash with a very, very good answer and a very, very good early game.
Yeah, they're playing these skirmishes in the jungle extremely well. They should be. They're not going to have enough health to convert that into a dragon, but they pick up a few more kills. Blazes, I don't know what he was doing there, but again, it's Palette setting this off. Walks in, gets a great pullback onto Shine. They blow him up almost immediately. And then we see them try to wrap around, but Bisbo committing, he's not able to get it done. It's all Palette. His face breakers have been perfect, and then we see Blazers sort of walk back in, has bloodlust in his eyes for Parquet, but you're walking into 4 people,
it's a
and
little sus.
and they're like, wait, we don't need to chase Bisbo. We can just kill the Twisted Fate, and that they did.
They
Meanwhile,
absolutely did.
Yoshino on the top lane, he's losing a little bit in CS, but he's just watching his team win on the rest of the map. He's like, I'm cool with this.
Sorry, top lane
I'm fine."
exists? I haven't seen them in ages.
No.
Renekton against Gnar. We don't have
They
to.
might as well not.
Yeah. We're waiting for the team fights. A great Mega Gnar ult can definitely swing this back around, but that is still several minutes away. It's the rest of the map they were interested in right now. And where are we looking for the next fight? Oh, I'm gonna answer my own question because it's gonna be this dragon. It's gonna be another one of these engages. Palette pulling him in again. He never misses any of these as they once again chase Luxury off the dragon. That's gonna be 2 kills.
Hello,
Yoshino finally picking one up. It's gonna be TP from him, I think, expended.
Yes.
So I guess top lane does exist after all.
Yoshino
Blazes,
teleporting
come on.
down. Oh no, Blazes, buddy.
Alright, he's fine.
Don't
He's
do
fine.
it.
He's alright this time.
He's alright. But we see GLX try and sneak a dragon against the passage of play, but Palette once again coming in. Yoshino able to that's gonna give the dragon over to the side of Flash, and their team is reasonably tanky with this set and Yoshino on the Renekton. But we just see Palette comes in and he uses the dragon against Sorn, using it to get the stun on that face breaker so much, and that just kills him. And then Yoshino teleported in, blows up Bisbo on the back end, gives them no way out. They even donate the kill from Sorn onto DivKid, so he's even further ahead. He is very close to his Kraken Slayer or his Gale Force, depending on what he so chooses to use.
Mm-hmm. And this
he has so much AD right now.
Yeah. And this is a bit of something that we do see sometimes from the lower tier VCS teams where they win the first game and they are just, overconfident. They look for these plays where they don't really have any credence to, really attempt to make those. And this is what we saw at that dragon where they didn't respect Flash's ability to answer. They didn't respect how far Flash's bot lane was ahead. And they really pay for it. And right now they're finding themselves at about a 2k deficit very early on in the game.
Yeah, very great. Very rough stuff coming out from GLX. You're always feeling a little bit vindicated seeing the Udio lose yet again. Still up in farm over Meliodas here, so he hasn't been completely blocked out of that aspect of gold, but he's 0-2. He's been run down a couple of times, and this Twisted Fate hasn't been able to really make proactive plays on the map because he's always responding to Palette, who's doing so much work, and he's earned those 3 kills as a support. He's earned them in this game.
Yeah, he's really doing well. The main catalyst for Flash's early game prowess right now as Blazers is caught out once again. Oh man, it's Pellet once again with the showstopper, the phase breaker, everything's coming through. Haymaker to finish him off. As Blazers, he's being given the Meliodas treatment from last game right now.
So much CC coming out. Just that scout of the week into the chain stuns out of Palette.
Ooh, Palette.
He's making things work for Flash right now. It is all on his shoulders. And that's what we want to see out of the superstar player. Palette, he's been to MSI. He has 2-0'd G2, the roster that won the MSI. This is what we want to see out of the best support in Vietnam, and he's making it happen.
Yep, definitely. Yoshino was trying to get an engage, but he's just going to get chased away by Manar. I sort of lost my train of thought there, so Vinny, if you got something else you want to talk about, take it away.
Well, yeah. The Flash has been able to utilize this pressure, and they're finally bringing it to the top side. They took the Rift Herald while that play in the mid lane was happening. Udia has not been able to do anything, but
I don't think they know the Lilia's there.
They don't know Lily is there,
well, she's not there anymore.
Well, she's not there anymore, but Sorn coming up just in case because of how the position of Yoshino threatening something. So Sorn comes up to make sure nothing happens. He's going to reset, but he's going to be slow compared to this Lily, who of course has the enhanced recall. So it's just a matter of where does Flash decide to go now. They are probably going to look for another pick around Palette. He spotted out Udyr in the bot side jungle, so it's going to be a matter of does Palette decide to make a play into the mid lane? He needs to team up with Meliodas so that their next play can automatically turn into a Rift Herald tower take.
Alright, ping's coming down. It's actually going to be an engage straight up. The rest of the team isn't here just yet. They're doing Skull Crab. A bit mistimed as the Pantheon just manages to walk away, the shield coming up to block most of that damage.
Yeah, Flash actually lose out pretty heavily on that trade. They go to about they lose about a third of their health on both of the players. So now they're committing pretty hard into this blue buff, looking to repeat the success. But Blazers
my
is
word,
dead.
Blazers, what are you doing, man? This is the third time you've been caught out this game. You have to stop doing these sorts of flanks. They're not working out for you, my friend. As the TP comes through, they're trying to defend this blue buff. I'm not sure who gets it, but another face breaker, amazing one, will pick up a bunch. Oh, Scatter Week gets 4, but is that going to be enough pellets? Next one on the docket, he does go down. Kemken going very low, has to disengage. Where is this ult going to go? Pantheon on the flank. He's gone a little bit too far. As Flash picks up the kill onto the Udyr. So far, still a very good trade. Now Bisbo, I'm not sure if you want to be there. A TP is going to come try to save him, but it's going to be a 1v3. Blazers is back in the fight as he immediately walks the hell away.
Oh no,
Yoshino! He's here as well. What a party. This isn't very family friendly. Yoshino, he bites a little bit more than he can chew. We're not done yet, I think.
We're done now. Finally done. Yoshino gets a little bit high feet to try and kill that Blazers on the back end, but the tower doesn't go down. From this, no one's going to be able to convert anything into anything else. I think Flash overall came away with the kill advantage, but Palette never stops.
Oh, it never ends. Blazers, are you going to get 1v1'd by the enemy support? It looks like he will just pop the stun card, walk away, and every day, where are you? Come back, my friend. We are entering Fiesta territory, and I'm not good with that.
Alright, now I have to try and break down this replay. So they overcommit into this blue buff. They get really high for it. Blazers caught out on the backside because he keeps going for these flanks. They aren't working out, as you said. So they think, so Flash is like, all right, we got a pick. Now we can take it. But GLX commits everything. Great play out of Palette and Parquet to keep it, to hold it off as long as possible. And then Meliodas getting out on nothing, baits in Bisbo on the Pantheon. He commits so hard trying to find Meliodas. Sorn gets blown up on the other side. In the picture, we see Palette went for something. I don't think he pulled it off, but yeah, we see the teleport come down. They're still trying to get Meliodas. Then Yoshino inside the tower because there is a stopwatch from Blazers, and they couldn't continue to bully him. There was just too much untargetability from the stopwatch, and the ult from Shine means that Yoshino just ends up walking to his death. But
Oh,
And then something happened in live that didn't actually result in anything. It doesn't appear.
bit of a deep skirmish past the tier 1 turret. Flash was trying to look for something there. It's a picture-in-picture for me because I'm casting off OBS, so you gotta save
Oh,
my
dear.
skin there.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing really happened. It did mean they were able to secure that first tower in the bot lane, thanks to that Rift Herald knocking out most of its health. This Infernal Drake, however, has been up for ages despite all the fighting that's been happening around it. So I think we may be looking to break into another fight with this dragon as the prize. But looks like GLX have learned their lesson and are backing the hell away from Paulette.
Mhm.
So Flash is just going to pick up a free dragon, and then that's going to put them into great position to snowball this into a soul for them this time, and maybe they can get their first game win on the board.
Yeah, that would be definitely something that Flash would want here, as they are looking like what are they going for here? Looks like they're pathing up towards the top side, looking for some spicy picks.
Probably just looking to set up and make sure they have first priority on the second Rift Herald. They saved their smite on the dragon, made sure they didn't use it. They brought their AD carry into the mid lane for quick rotation. Yep, Meliodas is starting it on the spawn. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to grab that, probably hold that until the next dragon play, and then drop it mid, get that turret, or at the very, very least guarantee that pressure that they can take the dragon.
I was very confused. I could have sworn it was past 20 minutes with the amount of action we were getting. I was wondering why they were moving up there, but yeah, they are going to pick up.
Yes, buddy.
Now I know how it feels. Time slowing to a crawl here, as Blazers will try to pick something up for the side of GLX to sort of counter that Rift Herald that will inevitably be put down at some point in this game. Well, it looks like it's just going to get answered by the Crocodile in the bot lane, so nothing really coming of it. We are in a bit of a lull state right now, so why don't you just walk me through any possible avenues for GLX to regain their advantage in this series?
So if you're GLX, you still have fantastic pick tools. You are just getting beaten to the punch by Paulette over and over again, so you need to try and be proactive. Instead of going for this turret damage on Twisted Fate, you should be looking to push in the wave so it's touching the tower. Then you'd look to rotate and try and make something happen. Try and find someone in rotation trying to match you. Try and team up with your Udyr and make a pick happen instead of using your ultimate to just teleport into a blue buff.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was about.
Not a great use of your resources, Blazers. So it's been a really rough game out of him. Other than that, you sort of have to look for the great Gnar wombo combo, sort of Gnar into a massive Blade Caller.
Well, what we're about to see right now is Gnar into death, because that's exactly what's happening. The Flash being expended by Ken. The rest of GLX, they're here to try to respond, but is that going to be enough? It's a very, very messy fight. Looks like the first death is going to be, in fact, Ken, as Syndra picks that one up. Dominus being popped onto Yoshino. It looks like they're going to go attempt a dive. Bisbo without the ultimate just pops the Rift Herald. Why not at this point? As the shield can come up, but it's going to go down at some point, buddy. Gonna get killed.
Yep.
Is the
Eventually, there we go.
Yep.
And then they're going to use this Herald, pick up another tower, try and get a second charge off. I don't think Shine will be able to burst it down, not with the pressure that's coming out of Flash. So they're going to maybe get 2 towers out of this play. They probably don't convert it into a Herald. Into a Baron. Actually, no, definitely not. There's still 30 seconds on that. So that's just a lot of extra gold into the bank of Flash. They have so much control over this top side now with the ability to shove the wave to inhibitor. So they're going to have so much control over this Baron, but as it comes up, but in a minute and 40 seconds.
Ooh, ballsy play, my friend. And I guess it doesn't even matter because the Udyr just instantly gets popped. Div Kid on a roll this game will pick up that kill for himself.
Kai'Sa just too good.
Will he be able to do it again, Ken? Oh, you popped the plan. You don't want to do that. as Kemken, he's going to try something, throws the building at the Kai'Sa, but the rest of her team is here to answer, will be able to pick up the kill. That's a shutdown. Very crucial goal going over to the side of Kemken, but now he's the one in a bad position. Blazers will join him, as he has over the course of this entire game, will be a second run going down, will get picked up by Meliodas there, and Yoshino will try to finally do something against this Gnar. Looks like it's gonna happen, gets the solo kill, gets the solo gold, and now Bisbo is gonna be the next one. The shield comes up to block the damage, and he gets out alive.
Yeah, Paulette kind of really unlucky there. Tried to use the Hex Flash over the wall to help Divkid, but got interrupted by the Mega Gnar. So ends up not being able to save his AD carry, but the rest of GLX decides to make up for it by running it down into the middle of the team fight. Blazers joining Kemken in the collapse and getting completely blown out. So yeah, we see Divkid, of course, blows up Sorn instantly, and then, but isn't able to do the same. Oh, even flashes the B emote. Just feels bad for his former teammate. As then, yeah, Kemken runs it down. Gets the kill eventually, but we again see Blazers. He's just, what is he doing? He teamed up with Bisbo, and then he's like, I'm going to make my dramatic escape towards the rest of Flash. It doesn't go well. Kemken eventually gets run down by Yoshino, and then it's, instead of a 1-for-1 that it could have been, it's a 2-for-1.
Mm-hmm.
And Yoshino, he's feeling useful this game.
Right.
But I think Flash is really working with Brother Blazers right now to get this.
And
as they pick up another dragon and are on Soul Point.
Absolutely they are. And if you asked me 5 minutes ago, I would have said that, hey, GLX, they might have a little bit of game plan. We saw the Twisted Fate use Destiny and Gate to get to the blue buff. What that told me was they wanted to slow the game down. But unfortunately for them, Flash has other plans. They're throwing themselves over and over again at GLX, which is a stark contrast to what we saw last game. Whatever Zerg did to them in that locker room, man, it's done wonders for them. I think he may have lit an actual fire under them. That's what's really happening. If you don't win this game, we're burning down the house, is what he said. But GLX, they are in shambles right now. They are unable to slow the game down, which is what they really need. And even if they are able to do that, at this stage in the game, are they really going to be able to come back in this game? Or are we going to a game 3, Vinny?
I think we are going to go for game 3. That's what the theme of this game is saying right now. It is 16-4 in kills. There is a 4k gold advantage. Yoshino's looking to make something else happen, but he's not going to be able to find it. Oh. And luckily for GLX, as Flash starts up the Baron, we'll see if there's a response, but luckily for them, it's not an Ocean Soul they have to worry about, just a Cloud Soul, so it's not like getting that soul is going to make it unassailable as the fight's happening.
Fight is indeed happening. Pellets in the backside. Ooh, the Baron was actually secured by Flash as they turn around onto, I think it was the Pantheon. As the Pantheon does go down, it's going to be a sleep onto Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate does go down. Kai'Sa's in the backline. He does huge damage with how far he is ahead, but he does go down as well at the back of that. But overall, it's going to be a good trade. Baron for Flash, as well as 4 kills to 2.
Yeah, they lose the bot lane in the ensuing fight, and it was very close for GLX, almost being able to get that smite steal. If they do, it goes a little bit better, but Kemken's still hanging around, trying to slow this push down.
All he's massive gonna do is get himself killed. He does pick up the kill, so I actually think that trade was good. He picks up the shutdown gold onto the Syndra.
Yeah, picks up shutdown gold. He's going to stop this push a little bit and make it so they are only really going to get this mid lane outer turret, which they were going to get regardless. But Yoshino.
He's going to smack him with the wings as Yoshino is a little bit out of position, but he does have backup from the set. Nope, set's just going to walk away saying, alright, you're on your own, buddy.
Yeah, not the wisest of Yoshino to just sort of hang around after cutting the tower down, and that's going to result in the only Meliodas having the buff. As we move into the replay, they do not do a good job at all. They don't keep Sorn out at all. It's only by the grace of God that Meliodas lands the smite. Then Paulette is left high and dry on the other side, so gets taken down, and Divkid reaches a little bit too far and ends up draining his life, but he gets another few kills out of it. So in the end, it's a good trade, but it is Kemken who comes to save the play, gets a massive ultimate off in this. Little bit more, if he threw the boulder a little bit at a different angle, he may have been able to pick up 2 kills, because Blazers was mostly killed by the tower. Sorry, Parquet was mostly killed by the tower.
Yes.
So in the end, that may have resulted in a bit of a better angle on that boulder. Could have resulted in the entire Flash roster losing that Baron. But as it stands, Meliodas still has it. They can still utilize it to get this last outer turret. Maybe wherever Meliodas is. There he is.
They actually just want to go for Kemken right now. 35 seconds of the Baron might just be wasted here. The sleep will be popped by the Lilia. The Kemken does go down. Destiny and Gate. Blazers is here as well, as it looks like GLX. This is going to be one of the final stands here in this game. Yoshino tanking up quite a bit, is in the front line, will expend the flash. Meliodas picking up the kill onto the Udyr, as it does look like Flash with the 5-man strong roster right now are just overpowering the roster of GLX. 24 kills to 8. That Baron buff is not going to go to waste. They are going to take both bot lane turrets here. They are going to pick up the inhibitor, and they might just go for the win.
They definitely have the tankiness on Yoshino, but he's not tanking up the tower. But there's only 2 left. There's 20 seconds on Shine and Thorn. They may be able to burst it down. There isn't enough damage from Blazers and Bispo.
Absolutely, and it looks like they are going to be able to do it. That's going to be a 1-1 coming through for the side of Flash. They salvage a very, very bad Game 1 into a very explosive Game 2, and they are going to force us to go towards a Game 3. And what a series it has been for this team.
Yeah, it was a fantastic showing from Flash this time around. They come out swinging to the fences. Palette showing up massively on this set. I expect they're going to that's probably going to hit the ban list.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a completely different Flash, and they have finally found themselves on the board in games, if not series.
Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, we hope you are enjoying the show here at VCS English. We'll be right back for Game 3. Don't go anywhere. Do not touch that browser.
KDA. Should we show them how we do it every day? Let's get it. Kali that girl, Kali gon' girl, Kali gon' stop, Kali gon' skirt, Kali got a job, Kali got a word. 뜨거워 언제나 don't get burned. 넘쳐 흘러물 든 a rough it. 죽여주잖아 like a buffet. 누가 감히 on my outfit. 그 문 열지 마 that's a rough day. I'm giving you more cause I'm greater than. 필요 없는 시험들 다 뿐이미. But all of my numbers are talking babe. 부루마법 message monopoly. 눈종이 돈이나 real money 필요 없대. 너네들이 만든 돈들 go get it go get it go get it. 또 미션 눈을 못대 못해 그래 너도 그래 cause I got it different. All I ever know is life upon the throne. 시작하면 끝을 보는 거야. You want more? No, I got it, so here it goes. You look like you could use some more. No, I got it and never running low. Yeah, I got more than enough, set it up and away. You know I got it like boom, boom, blow your mind. Never giving less and that's how it'll stay. You know I got it like all day, all the time. When I go, it's for gold, get it cool, but I'm cold. I don't fit in a mold, I'm a rebel. I don't do what you say, making moves, I don't wait while I smile in your face. I got different DNA. What's higher than the top? That's me. Come take a look before falling at my feet. 조용히 몸을 숙여봐. So take a look, 나를 기억해, queen. All I'll ever know is life upon the throne. 시작하면 끝을 보는 거야. You want more? No, I got it, so here it goes. You look like you could use some more. No, I got it and never running low. Yeah, I got more than enough, set it up and away. You know I got it like boom, boom, blow your mind. Never giving less and that's how it'll stay. You know I got it like all day, all the time. Way out，感觉犹如海浪的味道，不断往前，I'll never way down. This is how I do it every day. Wow, wow，这一路上的奇迹都记住了你的每一个瞬间，无比的耀眼。I know you want some more，准备好就一起走，Giving it all more。No, I got it, so here it goes. You look like you could use some more. No, I got it and never running low. Yeah, I got more than enough, set it up and away. You know I got it like boom, boom, blow your mind. Never giving less and that's how it'll stay. You know I got it like all day, all the time.
Hello, everyone. The break is over, but we sadly have to cut the stream short for now because of unforeseen circumstances. And we are very sorry to interrupt the broadcast here. Of course, you can go over to the official
The actual
broadcast and
VCS.
continue watching there, and or go to LPL. Well, it's very unfortunate, and I hope you understand, but we have to end for now. So have a good day, and thank you for tuning in once again, and we hope to see you soon.